The developers are quite transparent, they communicate pretty well. They're also continuously working on improving our beloved franchise, PlanetSide, but still they can improve. Let's talk. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Faber1, your host as usual, and today we're going to talk about Daybreak games, but not Daybreak games as a whole. We're going to focus on two games, PlanetSide 2 and PlanetSide Arena. In this video I want to talk about what they are doing good and where they can improve. And of course, like always, if you disagree or agree with me, let me know in the comments down below. Before we're going to discuss the good and the bad, you have to take into perspective how small actually PlanetSide 2 is. According to the PlanetSide 2 visual stats, there were yesterday on the 19th of May, so on Sunday, 45 unique character logins. While this is way more than we had before the DirectX 11 update, this is still peanuts compared to other more popular games. Unlike Counter-Strike Source, yes Source, not Global Offensive, released in 2004, we are not part of the top 100 games in the Steam charts. Less players means probably less income and therefore also less developer attention. And I personally think that in the grand scheme of things, we might be kinda happy that PlanetSide 2 still has a team of, I think 10 developers working actively on the game. Some players would like to see weekly updates and weekly more content, but that's simply not feasible. It's not like we're Fortnite with hundreds and hundreds of developers. If you ask me, it's already pretty impressive that they still do events from time to time, like for example the EverQuest event or the Snowman event. Even if they recycle events or use parts from other events into new ones, I think it still shows there is active development and the game feels more alive. Also, it just shakes up the gameplay a bit because shooting mans can get kinda boring, but then again the same can be said for hunting shinies or something like that. Well, at least it's a good thing they still do it from time to time, and also they stand still with certain milestones of the game. For example, today, if you're watching on the 20th of May, there's the 16th birthday of PlanetSide, the original PlanetSide, so PlanetSide 1, and to complete the tribute to PlanetSide 1, they're even gonna implement little meteorites from the original game, which I think is just crazy. However, to top it off, we're also gonna get a double XP period until the 1st of May. And if you are a member of the game, you will even get quadruple XP, so 4 times XP. Whilst I know there are still bugs in the game, like for example the low graphics invisibles infiltrators or cloaked sundies, I think patch month is kinda over. The game feels pretty stable, the game runs fluent, and there are still some server issues, but in general the servers seem fine. Daybreak Games is now offering the Reenlistment bundle and also the 16 Year of PlanetSide bundle, and together with the double XP, I think it's a very good time to return to the game, to play again. It seems to me that Daybreak Games is trying everything they can to bring back players to PlanetSide 2. At the beginning I was kind of afraid that we would have a big spike after DirectX 11, and then the people would leave again. However, it seems to me that we've built some momentum, and it's not like those people that came back are leaving anytime soon. We're getting more and more plays it seems, and more continents are opening up on different servers. What is the reasoning though behind this momentum? Why is this happening? Well, Daybreak Games is continuously coming up with more stuff, more positive things for the future of the game. First of all, with a surprise release of DirectX 11, then a surprise release of new server hardware for the Europe servers, and now they're coming up with a new anniversary event. This all is basically happening within 1 month. With such a small team, it is quite an achievement. However, they are also doing it very clever. For example, the server upgrades, well, normally a game wouldn't announce that. For instance, when Black Ops 4 released, players were kinda angry because the servers only run on 20 Hz. Quite silently, they actually pushed an upgrade to the servers so they run again on 60 Hz. Other games do it quite similarly, they just silently upgrade the servers. However, PlanetSide 2 is not normal. PlanetSide isn't normal. The servers have to handle a big load, I can imagine. Not only does it have to be able to handle around 2000 players, but it also needs to calculate all the different projectiles in the game, because this is not a hit scan game. People seemingly understand the importance of good working servers for PlanetSide 2. So yes, within the community that was kinda big thing, and especially because at the time they announced it, they were kinda saying sorry guys for not fixing all the stuff we wanted to fix before the weekend. So they throw us a bone. They throw us a bone from, guys, we are going to push some server upgrades in the future, so that really sweeten the deal a bit. This is a very efficient way of people managing and keeping your customers happy. Thanks to these attempts and being transparent, people feel with the developers, they feel with the game, and they say, guys, take your time, Wait with updates. If you want to make it good, just make it good. Don't rush it and make PlanetSide 2 great again. The PlanetSide community is really closely knitted. It is like a little gaming family, and I think that Nick Silva did the right thing by posting this, well, more or less death letter on Reddit, where most of the family will see it. That's not the only thing. When you go to Reddit, you pretty often see also this red tag saying developer response. By doing things like these, the community has more or less a feel they have a little say in what the game is going to be like in the future. And also don't forget this, it is just very nice to be heard as a community. Daybreak Games might still rule the game with an iron fist, however they do listen to the plebs playing the game. I think I made it pretty clear that communication is key to keeping your customers happy, and this is also the way forward for PlanetSide 2. And now we come into a little pickle because, well, as a community you do want communication, and that is often provided by the community manager. With Roxley being gone, there is right now I think no community manager. However, there is something else. This popped up not that long ago, and it seems we have a communications manager. I don't know this Gicolambo, or whatever his name is, or her name, but I do think this might be on a community manager, or I don't know. He or she hasn't introduced itself, so I can't really say yet, and I think we need to wait for it. But I think it's crucial though that we have another community manager coming soon at least. I also recognize in the comments that you guys thought, well, it is probably not a good idea if Rel becomes the community manager of PlanetSide 2 in another video I made before. If this really is our new community manager, I think it's a really good idea that they took someone from outside the community, without a reputation yet, inside our community at least, so he or she can't be hated already by the community beforehand. If this is a completely new employee at Daybreak Games, he or she needs some time to get used to all the things happening over there, get used to the office, get used to PlanetSide, get used to EverQuest, get used to all the things, so he or she will need some time, and that's why probably we haven't heard from him or her yet. Why I think this is promising is because sometimes it's a good thing we have a fresh wind. I'm not saying Roxley did a bad job, but sometimes Roxley wanted to do things, but in the end it didn't happen. I think Roxley had plans to do like a monthly dev stream, just playing the game, answering a bit of questions, and I do think things like those are what we need. Many players have the feeling that the developers don't play their own game. Therefore, they also think that they probably will make bad decisions for the game. For example, again, we had the Combined Arms Initiative. And because many people think there are not really experienced pilots inside the dev team, they are not making the best decisions for the game. If they would have monthly dev streams, just playing the game a bit, doing a bit of answering questions, how is it like to work at Daybreak Games, what they're working at, if they can tell it of course. Those are the things I want to see from the community manager. Dev streams like these happen on a weekly basis with other games like, for example, Warframe or Star Citizen, and the community loves them. Again, like I mentioned before in the beginning of the video, you have to look at this in a perspective. The Star Citizen team, the Warframe team are all both way bigger than the developer team of PlanetSide 2. I completely understand that the developer team doesn't have the time to each week talk for an hour what is happening, what they're doing, and play for a bit. But each month, I think they can talk about something, right? Maybe I'm asking for too much, but well, a man can dream. This was my part about the PlanetSide 2 team. I really think they deserve 4 out of 5 stars for the work in the recent weeks. However, if they want to earn that last final star, yeah well, then a community manager needs to start doing those monthly streams. PlanetSide Arena though is a completely different story. If Daybreak would have stuck with the original plan, well then we would have been playing the game for almost 4 months now. As you might know, the game has been delayed for 2 times and is now set to launch somewhere in 2019 in the summer. Whereas the PlanetSide 2 team is very transparent, what is going on, what they're doing, what they're working on, the PlanetSide Arena team is silent, very silent and not transparent at all. In the dev letter they stated that there will be continuing betas, and I still haven't seen any, but people can still play the game. If you own PlanetSide Arena on Steam and you still haven't installed it, you'll get some updates from time to time. It is very clear the developers are still working on the game, but what they're doing, what they're working on, what they're adding, they don't tell anything. What we have learned from data mining is that, for example, the team is working on air vehicles, Liberators, Valkyries, stuff like that. And don't understand me wrong, I'm really glad they're working on the game, still adding more patches and more polish to the game, but no communication. It went from full-on crazy videos with tricycles with Bob Ross to complete silence. I haven't seen a single tweet from the PlanetSide Arena account in forever. No hashtag enter the arena anymore. I do get it though. They want to reset, they want to relaunch the game actually, And they kind of ruined that by saying, guys, hey, it's going to launch end of January, then delay it again, and then delay it again. My expectation is that they want to do more like an Apex launch. Don't share anything until it's ready. I'm not claiming to be an expert in marketing, but I don't think it works like that anymore. You already hyped the game up front, you shared so many information, so many things, and now nothing. There is this extremely helpful PlanetSide community that really shows that they want to help the game. Just look at the most recent PTS sessions for DirectX 11 that showed up over 1,000 players. These people do know that there will be bugs, that the game won't run as fluently maybe as they want it to be. These people though are really willing to test the game, and if you ask me, it's a mistake to not use that. You have to use those people's thoughts, ideas, expectations, opinions to also give the PlanetSide 2 community a game they want to love and play as well. Having said that though, there is a limit. You don't have to always listen to your community, because I think the PlanetSide 2 community is kind of against Battle Royales, but I still think there is a big market outside the PlanetSide 2 community that is willing to play Battle Royales. This game though is still in full-on development, and I think, or at least my hopes are, that once the game releases, and I don't know if it will happen in 2 months or in 4 or 5 months, we'll still have to see that, but I do hope they will continue on the path PlanetSide 2 picks. I want to see the transparency, I want to see continued developer support, and if possible I want to see monthly dev streams, or maybe even for this bigger team weekly dev streams. If I still understand the idea of PlanetSide Arena, it will have more like a live service system, where they will add more and more content during the lifespan of the game. So what might happen is that they release Team Deathmatch from the start, but later on, after a few months, also add modes like Search and Destroy or Capture the Flag. That's probably more than enough content to talk about, so use it, really. If I have to give stars for this project, I will have to say right now 2 stars. Communication with the community is basically non-existent, but they do get 2 points for the efforts they took in the game, because they're still updating the game and they're adding more and more stuff, and they kinda listened as well when Apex Legends came out, so I still believe they're heading the right direction as well. All in all, the PlanetSide franchise has an on average sufficient score with 3 out of 5 stars. Therefore, they also might be kinda happy at Daybreak Games, because I think it's still very impressive what they're doing over there, but there are still points to work on. Anyway, that's me, that's Faber1, and I will see you soon with some more content.